What's going on, everyone? Tosh coming at you guys with another video of Let's Talk. This is going to be a combination of topics, unlike my previous videos where they kind of touched on just specific topics like Apple and Samsung. This is going to be like a combination. Again, like I said, this is a new series. It's going to be changing and evolving. I'm learning on how I want to structure this podcast slash news type thing. I want it to be kind of longer form conversation, but I also don't want it to drag out too long. Again, this is going to change. Let me know in the comments down below what you like, don't like, what you would like to see. Really helps out. Again, appreciate it. To hit that thumbs up on this video, it does help me out as far as analyzing what you guys like and don't like. This video is going to be pretty much a topic of Samsung and Apple and some of the issues that they've been having with their latest launch of their devices, whether it be the computers or Samsung's phones. We're going to touch on some of those issues that they're having. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to stick around for the whole video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button as always, and the thumbs up, like I said, does help me out. But with all that out the way, let's talk about it. All right, so first thing I kind of want to talk about that I am having a personal experience or issue with myself is what's kind of going around with everybody is the S22 Ultra, or just even the S22 lineup being delayed as far as the pre-orders. I wasn't one of the first people to pre-order when it first got announced. I did kind of sit on it for a little bit. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to even upgrade my Fold 2 to the S22 Ultra. But after seeing numerous amount of videos from every content creator you can think of covering every aspect about the phone, it started pulling my attention a little bit more, and I started getting intrigued, whether it was just a FOMO or if I just kind of missed the Note series phones. So I was told I was going to get my device shipped out to me within March 23rd, which today is the 23rd, and I haven't got any notification about it even being shipped yet. A lot of issues there with the pre-orders not being shipped out when they were told, so I think that's just going to be a continued issue. A lot of this I believe stems down just to like they all say, the chip shortage. Maybe they're using that as an excuse, or maybe just production couldn't keep up with the demand. Who is to know other than Samsung? But you know, we have no other choice as a consumer but wait now. And a lot of people are mad. So as you can see, I pulled up an article, not an article, but like a community chat within the Samsung website here. As you can see, just kind of touching on the same topic with the Galaxy S22 shipping delays. This person here is frustrated just as much as I am, talking about their shipping date is March 25th. They're complaining about the lifespan is too short on these phones, which is true. It's like every 6 months there's like a new phone coming out. I know by the end of the year the Galaxy Fold 4, forgot what number we're on, Galaxy Fold 4 is going to be released, what, in August or something like that, they said. So I don't blame why people would be upset. I mean, this phone got announced, what, February? We're now in March, late March, and they haven't even been shipped out yet. So I can see the frustration. I'm dealing with it myself, but I'm still willing to wait because, like I said, it still has better specs than the phone I have now. So no matter what, I'm still going to get a better phone. But to this person's point, they're saying lifespan is too short on these phones. Delay a month or two is ridiculous. Most people seem to upgrade every 2 years. Some on Samsung, I hear people check their order and dates are getting pushed back. I hope that doesn't happen to me. So yes, it is annoying. This happens on both parts as far as Samsung or Apple, no matter who you go through, especially with a very popular device. Again, this thing is everywhere. People are seeing it. It's getting consumed in content, so people are going to want it. Of course, the hype is going to be there along with the chip shortage, and I don't think we're really having any backups as far as what was it, like the freights not being able to come in. I don't know if that's still an issue. Let me know if you guys actually been experiencing the same issue. I'm curious on the percentage of you guys that watched the video actually pre-ordered this device. Next time, you know, we're gonna kind of go off to Apple. Now, Apple has been having issues with the Studio lineup. Now they released, which the video will be linked down below where I talk about all their products, but they have released a Studio lineup. It's a PC and a monitor. They're not a combo. You have to buy them separately, and we all know Apple charges your soul just to buy a product, and it'll forget about the top tier product. It's the baseline product you're selling your soul for. I can see why Apple would be under fire. I think they should be under fire a lot more than what they are, but which I'm a little upset with Samsung following in the footsteps sometimes, but that's another argument. But Apple released the Studio monitor. With the Studio monitor, the 27-inch or whatnot, it has a non-proprietary power cable, which meaning that you can't take it out on your own as far as a user. You would have to send the whole device in to to get it fixed if something ever happens to the cable. Most devices now, they have a detachable cable of some sort, so for that reason, so you're not having to buy a whole new device just for the cable. So I can see the issue, especially in 2022, like everything should be coming proprietary if it could be. So for this device, especially being released literally a month ago in this day and age, and spending as much as you'll be spending on this display, that should be repairable by the user. You shouldn't have to send your whole monitor in to get a cable fixed. But that's the issue. A lot of people have been bringing that up on the YouTubes, talking about that. So you can see those videos everywhere. A couple more things people are nitpicking once they were already on the find the issues with this product was the hardware. So Apple has some amazing hardware. I'm not going to knock them for saying they don't have good hardware, but the monitor that they're charging, you know, $1,500 for the base model, you're getting very outdated parts. It's not bad, horrible parts, but they're outdated for what is out today, and then especially what you're spending for this product. $1,500 for a base model monitor. That's insane. You can buy a whole computer, laptop for that price. So trust and believe, if I spend that much, I'm gonna be nitpicking every little thing I can, because that's just ridiculous. So you are getting a lack of HDR support, so that is a disappointment with that being out already, and Samsung having their HDR support on their monitors and displays with 120 hertz. So you already are lacking on that with the studio display. Some other issues with that is the webcam. So a lot of people are having gripes with the webcam being such low quality, and on top of that, it is probably the worst quality of all of their webcams, from their iPhone to their MacBooks to some of the other products. There's a video I can link down below that actually has a review of all the cameras lined up together, so that we can see it is the worst quality. And again, like I just kind of touched on, not unusable hardware, but it's just outdated hardware for such how far along we are with specs and what the price you're paying for this stuff. Like, come on, Apple, put the stuff in your products. Like, they will wait 4 or 5 iterations of their device and charge you that much money for you to get what you could have got with another company 5 years ago, all to just kind of put one spec in each release. Oh, you want HDR support? Well, we'll get that in Studio Display 3. We're only on the first one right now. It's insane, but people will pay for it and they'll keep doing it. So, I mean, you're going to keep getting these problems with these companies, especially Apple. I mean, them being on top of the game and having so much money and influence, it really would take the masses to stand up as far as not accepting this type of stuff anymore and demanding more out of the company for your hard-earned money. Granted, the quality is great. Like I just talked about in the release video, they have a crazy M1 chip, the M1 Ultra, which is insanity. It pretty much blows everything out of the water. Again, you're paying your soul for it, but you're getting, you know, the performance. The performance is there. So not everything you can knock them on. I mean, everything they have is overpriced. I rambled on a little bit too much about this, but yeah, a lot of issues, well, not a lot of issues, a couple of issues people are having though, which I don't blame them for the release of the studio setup with the display. We're going back to the S22 lineup now with the S22 Ultra. We'll talk about specifically, seems to be the main issue, is the difference between performance of the Exynos chip and the Snapdragon chip. Now, for those of you who don't know, people over in like the UK and stuff like that get a whole different chipset in their phone. The CPU, pretty much, the brains of the phone, is different than what we get here in the US. In the US, we do get the Snapdragon chipset, which performs, from what I haven't spec'd it out myself, but from the videos I'm seeing, it performs greatly better than the Exynos variant. Some people I'm reading, it's actually worse this year. Again, that's kind of been a lingering issue with Samsung. So the Exynos is Samsung's version chip. I don't know why they separate the market as far as who gets what chip, which is crazy. I think it should be optional, but I do see why Samsung has their own chip. They're trying to compete obviously with their competitors, and being able, the pro of Apple is because they create everything themselves. Everything is optimized to the max for their device specifically. So if Samsung get on top of their game and stop lacking in that department, they can have the Exynos chip kind of be the dominant chip in their phones if it was able to perform on top, like the Snapdragon, for instance. So that's a known issue with battery life and stuff like that, is going to be worse with the Exynos chip. Performance is going to be a little bit worse. Performance is kind of an iffy one because, like I said, a lot of the performance that these chips can output, there is no app that can utilize that performance. You're not really going to see the difference unless you're really looking for it. You're doing like geek benches and stuff like that. The main issue though is battery life. That's something that will affect the everyday user based upon, which is circumstantial, very circumstantial, because everyone utilizes their phone a little bit different. You may be on Instagram 12 hours a day. I might be on it 1 hour a day. Everybody's situation is gonna be a little bit different. So battery life is definitely gonna vary per person, but there is no debating that the Exynos chip battery performance is going to be worse than the Snapdragon from what I'm looking at in videos and articles. And like I said, that's been the issue with previous lineups before the S22. Another thing we're going to talk about with Samsung, they were under fire recently for their S22 lineup, go figure, for having a game optimizing software that was throttling the devices. Now this software, it's only on the S22 lineups, and I believe the S8, the Galaxy Tab S8 lineups as well. So I don't have it on my Fold 2 or anything like that, but apparently this has been drastically throttling devices as far as performance when it comes to playing games, high demanding apps such as games and whatnot. People a lot nerdier than me have been testing this and seeing that it was being throttled. I would have never figured this out. I don't even have the device yet, but stuff like that I probably wouldn't have figured out on my own. So cool that we got people looking for that type of stuff, but we're kind of nitpicking here. But it is cool that we got people who are poking and prodding around and trying to find out the flaws. There was actually a lot of outcry about it, so it got Samsung's attention. The CEO of the company actually talked about the issue and apologized for it, and said that they are coming out with a firmware update that will allow you to turn that option off, so that way your device isn't being throttled as much as it was. But they did it for battery performance. It kind of goes with what I'm talking about. These devices don't really, I mean, gaming's different. You can probably get more frames off that. There has been some tests where the Genshin Impact, you got more frames when you turn that off than when it was on. So there is a performance increase in that situation as far as like frames. But when you're using any other app, basic games, nothing too crazy like the top tier like Call of Duty or Genshin Impact, you're not going to see the difference. You're not really going to notice it. So I see why they did it, allowing you to get more out of your phone as far as battery life, because it's not using all that power. There's no apps that are really going to use all your CPU power. So I can see both sides. Again, it's nice to know that we can have the option, let us know that that's on there, and then again give us the option to turn it off or on when we want to. We pay for these devices. They're our devices. We technically own them, so we should be able to have full control of the device. No, that goes to you, Apple, stopping us from jailbreaking our phones. What's wrong with you? But yeah, so a lot of little issues. This comes up with any drop of a device, especially once the consumer gets it in their hands and they can start tinkering with it. I mean, we're going on 2-3 months now. The phones have been out a couple weeks now since the Apple stuff has been out. So more stuff's going to come out as far as flaws. There's a lot of pros with these devices. I just kind of want to touch on this video as far as some of the cons that are coming out from these drops of Apple and Samsung. Just want to touch on a few. Just want to be able to put content out for you guys and kind of fill you in on what's going on in the tech sphere. If you guys do like these videos, again, it really does help out. If you just smash that like button, it takes you not even a second to do. It helps me out greatly. And if you do like this content, always subscribe if you aren't already. Other than that, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all stay nerdy. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.